Hey there, I'm Sandy Reese, Chief Encouragement Officer here at Get Fully Funded, where we help small nonprofits learn how to raise the money they need to fully fund their mission. I'm here to help you learn how to master the art and science of fundraising. And I've got a great tip for you in just a moment. But before we get to that, go ahead and hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so that the next time we post a really great tip like this one, you're among the first to know. Okay, on to this week's tip.
Now, we're here at the beginning of January, and if you had a terrific year-end, congratulations. If it wasn't so hot, I get that. I've been in that spot too, where what I was trying to do for the end of the year wasn't really quite that great. But here's what you need to know. If you didn't get the results you were looking for, you can do it different next time. And really, the beauty of year-end, when it goes really well, it's not about what you necessarily do at the end of the year. It doesn't really have as much to do with how you ask as you think, although it is very important to get in front of the right people with the right message at the right time. If you've followed me for very long, you know I teach that all the time, that it is important that you talk to your donors and ideal prospects and that you share a message that warms their heart and makes them want to give, and that you do it at the right time. And what that means is you do it at a time when you've been warming them up. So you can't just be ask, ask, ask. Now, if you want to make sure that you have a terrific year end in 2021, you need to really pay attention to what you do between now and December. So January through the end of November is what is going to drive your results in December. Think about that. Fundraising is based on relationships, and relationships take time to build. So it matters that you're consistent in your communication. It matters that you're treating people like more than just a checkbook, more than just a debit card, more than just a bank account. You've all had that experience, I'm sure. I certainly have, of giving to an organization and feeling like I don't matter. As a matter of fact, there were a few organizations that I've heard from in the last few weeks that I thought, you don't even know my name. You don't know who I am. I am a number in your database. And you know what? As a donor, I don't want to give there anymore. That feels really crappy. You don't want your donors to feel that way, and you can do something about it. Okay, so here's what I want you to do. I want you to get a plan together. Your fundraising plan, your plan for the year. Yes, it needs to have in there all the times when you're going to ask for money. It needs to have your events in there. It needs to have anytime you're going to send out a letter, whether it's through snail mail or it's through email, Giving Tuesday, like all that kind of stuff needs to be in your plan. And what also needs to be in your plan are all the times when you're going to communicate with your donors simply to make them feel good. That means you need to be looking carefully at stewardship activities like sending out a Valentine's Day card or doing a Valentine's Day video or a thank you video or a surprise, I remembered your birthday card. All of those kind of things will give your donors the experience of surprise and delight. And that's what you're going for. You want them to feel really good. Look, none of us have enough feel good in our life right now. If you're watching the news today, it's kind of crappy. It's scary. Like I honestly, I personally do not watch the news anymore because it drains my energy. It makes me feel crappy. It fills my head with negativity. I don't want any of that. I figure if there's something important enough in the world that's happening, somebody close to me is going to call and tell me that the world is ending, and I need to know that. Other than that, I don't want to do that. I want to keep my energy cleared out, stay positive, because I need to be at full potential to really think about and do the kind of fundraising I want to do. I hope that makes sense to you. And because none of us get enough positivity in our lives, when you can add a drop of positivity to your donors, they're going to remember that. They're going to remember that they are more to you than just a checkbook. If you reach out to them and say, hey, I hope your new year is off to a great start. Just want to let you know I'm thinking about you. Like that can go really far. Donors really appreciate that. So what I want you to do as you're thinking about your plan is not just all those times when you're asking for money, but also all the times when you are going to be on purpose to give your donors a great experience. You need to be thinking about the stewardship. You need to be thinking about the thank you videos, thank you cards, birthday cards, anniversary cards, newsletters. Your newsletter, your email newsletter is probably your most underutilized tool, unless, of course, you're in our fundraising TV program and you've been listening to what I've been saying about newsletters. Your newsletter can be amazing, but listen, it's got to be on purpose. It's got to be very short, and it has to have no ask in it, because the minute that you put an ask in it, it now goes into the ask category on your plan. It is no longer a warm fuzzy. It is no longer a feel good. It is now a handout. You can't have like gimme, gimme, gimme all the time, because if you do that, you're going to wear people out. They're going to stop giving. They're going to go away. They're going to unsubscribe, and they won't give anymore, because that feels crappy. You've probably had that friend that the only time you hear from them is when they want something. Yeah, we can't do that. We can't be that way. So here's what I want to show you today. This is a tool that I call a summary calendar. Here's what it looks like. Let me just hold it right there. You can see it's basically just a grid that gives you different categories of giving by month. So I'm going to give you a link on where to go get this in just a second. You can actually download this for free, get it off my website, use it, make it yours. I stumbled into this, I think it was in 2001. I was working at the food bank, and I found myself being behind all the time. Who can relate to that? Like always at the last minute doing stuff, always behind, like can't get caught up. What the crap is going on? And one day I said, enough. I've had enough of this. There has to be a way for me to get ahead of the game here, so I'm not always staying up late trying to get stuff done. I'm sure all of you can relate to that. And so it occurred to me, I don't know where this idea came from. I guess it was divine intervention. I thought, you know what? If I just created a way to write down everything I'm doing during the year, maybe that would give me a way to get a handle on this. And I literally created this page. This has not changed much since 2001. I've like retitled and moved some of the categories around, but the form of this has not really changed a whole lot. So this is what I created for myself way back then. And when I put everything on there, all of a sudden I realized why I was struggling. So here's what I did. I started with the things that I knew for sure were going to happen, like my events. And back then I was doing several events. I don't recommend that. I recommend one fundraising event, do it really well, hit it out of the park, and then move on. I put my grant deadlines on there. And then I started plugging in the other things that I wanted to do, like when during the year I wanted to send out an appeal through the mail, when I was going to do a newsletter, when I wanted to ask for monthly donors, when I wanted to start doing other things. And what you'll see when you get a close look at this is there's a column for marketing. So I would do speaking engagements to go out into the community or press releases. And when I was going to do communications, which I felt like were more internal, when I was going to do my newsletters and annual reports and things like that with donors. Once I put all that stuff on there, I looked at it and went, oh, this is why I'm pulling my hair out in February, because I had 3 grants due, and I was trying to do a newsletter, and I was trying to do a volunteer orientation. I had like 3 other things I was trying to do, and it was all jammed up in February. And I went, well, all right. I can't do anything about the grant deadlines other than work earlier, but what can I do? I can slide the volunteer orientation a week this way. I can slide that newsletter a week that way. I started moving some things around until I had it spaced out as well as I could, where it still made sense to send those things and to hold those kind of things in that particular month or in that particular week. And it allowed me to see what was coming. And what I had to do, I had to like run a little faster just for a week or two so I could kind of get caught up and get ahead. And then I wasn't behind anymore. I was always working 60 to 90 days out. So when you do that, when you can get to that place where you're working at least 30 days out, when you can get to 60 days out, you can control your life so much easier. You're not always tired. You're not staying up late all the time, and life just gets easier. So that's our summary calendar. We always include this in fundraising plans. Even when I do a 15-page fundraising plan for a client, it always has a summary calendar in it, because this is your at-a-glance tool. If you don't have anything else, you can fill this out, put it on your wall, and then at least you always know what's coming. So let me type in the comments. Here's where you're going to go find this. You can go grab it off our website at getfullyfunded.com/plan. That's where you're going to find it and go grab it and enjoy it. Make it yours. So if there's something on here that doesn't really work for you, maybe for whatever reason you don't do grants, so then you can get rid of that column and put something else in there. Make it work for you. I think you'll find that fundraising will get easier and your life will simplify when you have a handle on what needs to happen. And You can make sure you're doing all the things during the year that will give you an excellent year end next time. All right, everybody, go have a great rest of your day, and I will see you next week with another fundraising tip of the week. Bye, everybody.